bossing, unti-unti na nakikita ng netizens at ng taong bayan yung script. Huwag nyo naman sana gawing sine ang totoong buhay. Ano kaya kung kayo nasa lugar ko? Kayo ginawang sacrificial lang.
The only advice I can give to Kong Arnie, mas maaga kang makauwi, mas marami pang opsyon ang mangyayari.
From the nation's capital, all sides, all the time, I'm Robbie Alampay.
And I'm Gretchen Ho. The big story tonight.
President Bongbong Marcos is urging Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnulfo Teves to come back to the Philippines, saying the government could provide him security.
Meanwhile, all the suspects of 10 of them in the Digamo killing are now in the custody of the NBI. Brian Castillo with the big story.
President Bongbong Marcos Jr. issued a stern warning to Negros Oriental Representative Arnie Teves. Marcos said that Teves should return to the Philippines or the government will be forced to move without any discussions with him.
The only advice I can give to Kong Arnie is that habang tumatagal ito, mas nagiging mahirap ang sitwasyon mo. So, mas maaga kang makauwi, mas marami pang opsyon ang mangyayari.
Marcos also waved off a conspiracy theory by Teves that he was being linked to the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Ruel Digamo due to his supposed ties to Isabong. In a 17-minute Facebook video, Teves hurled numerous conspiracy theories that allege he was being set up to be a scapegoat. He also floated the conspiracy that the order to link him to Digamo's death came from Malacanang, but not from the president. Teves, however, did not reveal the source of his information or substantiate his allegation.
Pero bago pa yung killing, may operation na. At may nagsabi din sa akin na may order din daw sa palasyo. Sa totoo lang, hindi ako naniniwala na si President BBM mag-o-order na tirahin ako.
The president, for his part, told the lawmaker that the government will deploy all kinds of security to protect him upon his arrival in Manila.
Mayaman ka naman, may private jet ka naman eh. Maglanding ka kung saan mo gusto, papaligir sa isang army, sa Air Force Base. O maglanding sa Basa. Papaligiran natin ng sundalo, wala makalapit ng 1 kilometro. So that will guarantee his security.
Meanwhile, the 5 remaining suspects in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Ruel Digamo have already been taken to the NBI. According to the Special Investigation Task Group Digamo, all 10 are now in the custody of the authorities.
Ang dami na ng nakuha ng under custody. You could just imagine yung dami ng impormasyon na nakuha natin.
The suspects will undergo tactical interrogation. With this, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla is confident that they will be able to name the mastermind behind the crime.
It's just a matter of time. We just have to get all the statements together so we can link all the evidence together.
Tapos na.
The House Committee on Ethics and Privileges panel, meanwhile, wrapped up its investigation on the continued absence from the chamber of Teves. With this, the committee may recommend the following actions, which includes admonition, censure, or even Teves' expulsion from the House.
Agad-agad.
For News 5, Brian Castillo. We are One News.
The House has slapped a 60-day suspension on Congressman Teves, adopting the Ethics Committee report, which concluded that Teves showed disorderly behavior when he stayed abroad with expired travel clearance and he defied orders to return home and perform his congressional duties.
President Bongbong Marcos has confirmed that the 4 new sites for the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement with the United States have been identified. Julie Baiza with the report.
President Marcos graced the 126th founding anniversary of the Philippine Army in Taguig City. In his speech, Marcos said there is a need to recalibrate the government's approach in dealing with communist insurgency. The president urged soldiers of the government to be catalysts to the surrender and disarmament of communist rebels, noting a decline in their number.
Addressing the root causes of insurgency will entail a whole-of-nation approach. Take on the task of peacemakers. Work with national government agencies, civil society groups, the private sector, and the communities themselves in keeping the peace.
Marcos also told the army to continue strengthening its relationship with its foreign counterparts.
Common security challenges necessitate a more concerted approach among like-minded nations. Share information, learn from the best practices in the region to make our military better.
In a media interview after attending the ceremony, President Bongbong Marcos said the new sites for the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement will be located in separate parts of the country, some being near Palawan, while others will be located up north.
So there are 4 extra sites scattered around the Philippines. There are some in the north, there are some around Palawan, there are some further south. So iba-iba talaga. It's really to defend our eastern coast.
The Defense Department had said earlier that among the planned locations for the new Edgar Sites are Cagayan, Isabela, Palawan, and Zambales, areas that noticeably face the West Philippine Sea and Taiwan. Some local governments have earlier opposed the plan as they fear of getting caught in the middle of conflict between US and China over Taiwan.
Yung nandito na sila, dito na sila, mag-i-stack, dito sila makikipag-gyera, dito sila ay mas lalong patay na po kami doon. No, sabi ko nga, ang wishlist ng mga kwan dito, backers, ano ibig sabihin? We're not prepared for that type of war.
But Marcos says the administration has smoothened things out with his LGUs.
Mukha namang naintindihan nila because most of the those who had interposed some objections are really right now naintindihan naman nila, and they have come around to support the idea of an EDCA site in their province.
Mobile journalist Julie Baiza, We Are One News.
Food waste and hunger remain to be a huge problem around the world, including the Philippines. But what exactly can Filipinos do to prevent food wastage? Arian Kalumbiran tells us how.
Filipinos always love to put food on the table, but sometimes we also leave quite a lot of leftovers, and this is not a good thing. Reynaldo, for one, admits that in their household there's always some leftover food on the table.
Nauna, yung mga anak ko, pagka kinain nila ngayon at may natira, hindi na nila po pwedeng kainin pa kinapunan yun.
Because of this, their strategy as a couple is to just finish the leftovers.
Kaya lang minsan, siyempre nabubusog ka na, hindi mo na kayang ubusin, may leftover pa rin.
In the latest expanded National Nutrition Survey of the Department of Science and Technology, Food and Nutrition Research Institute, rice, fish, and vegetables are the most wasted food in the Philippines. This is according to more than 21,000 families across the country who participated in the said study. Each family wastes about 76 grams of food every day, equivalent to 8 spoonfuls, which is a cause for concern for the agency.
It's actually a public health concern kasi para sa aming mga nutritionists, pag sinabi namin pong food waste, plate waste, it's equivalent actually to nutrient waste.
The study also showed that when a family is bigger, their consumption is also higher, resulting in more food waste. The DOST-FNRI mentioned that 1,717 metric tons of food are wasted every day in the Philippines, food that can feed the hungry. Most cases of food waste occur because people buy more than they can actually consume.
Pag nagdi-discount yung mga specific food products, ang tendency mo ay magdami ka ng pagkain, but then eventually pala, hindi mo naman pala maluluto, mag-e-expire lang.
The food or plate wastage may be higher if the wastage in restaurants is included in the count. But for carinderias, they manage not to contribute to this.
Halimbawa, may mga tira-tira kaming kunti, yun ang kinakain namin, yun ang inuulam namin.
The DOST-FNRI advises those who often leave food uneaten to just buy and serve what is enough to avoid wastage. As for the Pinoy term pangat, when referring to food that has been recycled or gone through several reheats, it's also a good practice. Arian Kalumbiran, We Are One News.
After the break, authorities continue their efforts to contain the oil spill from the sunken empty Princess Empress, which was found yesterday. We'll be speaking with Pola Oriental Mindoro Mayor Jennifer Cruz when the big story returns. Keep it here on One News. story here on One News. Authorities are still studying how to retrieve the sunken oil tanker in Oriental Mindoro. According to the survey conducted by the remotely operated vehicle from Japan, the MT Princess Empress is located some 390 meters underwater. The motor tanker sustained further damage due to high water pressure, making its retrieval more difficult. The ROV from Japan also spotted over 20 leak points, spilling industrial fuel. The oil spill has since disrupted the livelihoods of residents living in coastal areas. Some fishermen in the town of Pola have resorted to other means of livelihood just to get by. Some are selling goods, while others are doing manual labor work. The Justice Department is now calling on all affected residents to document the impact of the oil spill for case buildup. The DOJ says 128 million pesos in civil liabilities can be charged against the owner of the tanker and the owner of the shipment. Now, despite the scale of damage in Oriental Mindoro, President Marcos sees no need to form a special task force that will handle government response to the oil spill.
To talk to us about the damage in Pola, we have with us on the show Mayor Jennifer Cruz. Good evening. Welcome to the Big Story, Mayor.
Magandang gabi po. Good evening po.
Ma'am, una-una po, kamustahin natin ang lugar ninyo, pati ang mga kababayan nyo dyan. Ano po ang status ng cleanup? Kamusta po ang mga residente?
Right now, Robbie, marami po tayong na-encounter na problems kasi patagal ng patagal, parami yung nagiging problema. So yung ating mga binibigay na trabaho right now, syempre alam naman natin na hindi ito lahat ibibigay kasi we have 4,800 na walang trabaho. And yung binibigay is paulit-ulit like 500 lang muna, 200 and 100. So talagang namimili kami muna kung sino ang mauunang magtrabaho for that day. You know? So ini-employ lang paunti-unti. Kaya yung iba nagkakaproblema sa livelihood natin. So pinag-iisipan natin yung sustainable na livelihood programs for them para hindi naman kami palaging aasa or laging magpo-problema na sasabihin namin sa national na dapat ito hingi kami every month. So this time talaga we're thinking na ng sustainable livelihood programs para sa mga fisher folks natin, Robbie.
Ma'am, what opportunities are you seeing now in terms of shifting the livelihood of our fishermen? Ano po kaya yung maaari nilang maging kabuhayan? At sa tingin niyo po, gaano katagal? Ito, kahit nahanap na po yung MT Princess Empress, gaano katagal pa po yung clean up?
Yung clean up, Gretchen, medyo matagal pa ito. According to sa mga expert, kasi matagal talaga siya kahit makuha pa yon kasi nasa dalampasigan na natin. Kasi nakadikit talaga siya sa mga bato. So it takes time, maybe 6 months to 1 year yung paglilinis. And yung makarecover is medyo matagal. According again sa expert is mga 5 years to 6 years. May mga nagsasabi 10 years. So hindi natin alam kung gaano katagal talaga makaka-recover yung ating mga mamamayan sa bayan ng Pola, lalo na yung mga fisher folks. Kasi sobrang hirap ng nararanasan nila kasi wala na, hindi sila makapunta sa ating karagatan.
Mayor, sabi po ng DOJ, maaaring umabot higit sa 100 milyong piso. Sa civil damages pa lang ang maaari nyong habulin. Bukod pa yan sa any criminal charges that you may consider. Nasaan na po tayo sa mga options na yan na pinag-iisipan nyo na legal redress, legal action laban sa may-ari ng barko, pati ang mga consignor?
Robby, nagpapasalamat tayo sa DOJ Secretary kasi galing na siya dito yesterday. And yung mga damages, sila na yung nag-investigate. And yung mga tao natin, meron naman silang sinumpaan sa laysay kung ano yung kailangan na i-charge sa kanila under na yun sa investigation ng DOJ. At kami naman ay nakasalalay doon kung ano kailangan i-charge namin sa kanila. Right now, wala pa kaming exact amount na pwedeng i-charge. So according nga sa DOJ is 138 million. So kami naman ay kung ano yung sasabihin nila, doon naman kami. Kung ano yung actual sasabihin ng DNR, so sa DOJ, kami naman ay nakasalalay. Kung ano ang sasabihin, doon kami, Robbie.
Pero samantala, Mayor, bago pa po tayo umabot sa hablahan, 2 weeks ago, nakapanayam namin kayo sa The Chiefs at sinabi nyo nga, bago pa natin pag-usapan yan, yung mismong, yung mismong makataong pagtulong man lang, wala pa kayong nararamdaman. Ngayon po ba, nararamdaman nyo ang abot na tulong man lang ng mga may kagagawan dito at mga responsable dapat dito sa paglubog?
Actually, Robbie, wala kaming nararamdaman na galing sa may-ari. Kanina kausap ko ang Harbor Star. Yung Harbor Star naman, hinar sila nung insurance company. And the insurance company, binigyan lang ng 178 na tao na yun yung papasweldohin. And parang napasweldo na yung unang 100, yung others ay hindi pa napapasweldo. Yung part na yun, nagpapasalamat kami at least doon sa 175 or 78 na tao ay mapapasweldo na. Kahit pa paano, may ibsan yung kanilang mga utang-utang at kung ano-ano pang hanap buhay na kakailanganin ng pamilya nila. So yun, okay ako doon. The rest, wala naman po talaga kami ibang nararamdaman na manggagaling doon sa may-ari mismo ng barko.
Ma'am, bilang panghuli lang po, no, speaking of tulong, ano pong kinakailangan na immediate assistance that you need now? Kamusta po yung response ng mga government agencies at ano po yung panawagan po natin?
Gretchen, right now, financial na talaga yung kailangan namin dun sa ating mga fisher folks, no? Kasi matagal na silang walang trabaho, walang pambayad sa kung ano man, pamasahe ng anak nila sa school, pambili ng mga personal things nila. Yun na yung iniisip natin. At sana, kung magbibigyan pa tayo, yung pang sustainable livelihood programs na like yung ibang puhunan na mas malaki para sa kanila, para lahat may employ na natin, Gretchen. Hindi na yung patingi-tingin and every now and then, kahingi kami ng tulong sa national. So yung yung pinaka talaga na pagtutulong-tulungan na namin kasi ngayon, na-employ pa unti-unti yung ating mga kababayan, Gretchen.
We hope private and public entities come together to help Paula in your ordeal. Maraming salamat po, Paula Mayor Jennifer Cruz.
In other news, Senator Robin Padilla claims there is no bad blood between lawmakers after the scrapped joint hearing on charter change. Senator Padilla, who chairs the Senate panel on constitutional amendments, said that the joint hearing with House lawmakers was just postponed to a later date. The senator said he is open to having a closed-door executive session, although he is hoping that fellow lawmakers would agree to a public hearing. Presidential Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile attended today's Senate committee hearing. He expressed support for the Constituent Assembly as means for changing the charter. He insists it is a more practical mode of charter change since it will not entail electing separate delegates that will vote to amend the Constitution.
Anong kabigatan na hindi naintindihan ng Kongreso, hindi magagawa ng Kongreso, at kailangan mo ang CONCON? My God, for such a small clause, to spend billions to change it is foolish.
After the break, the dry run for the exclusive motorcycle lane in Commonwealth Avenue has been extended. Let's see how that's affecting traffic this hump day. We'll get the latest from mobile journalist King Senko when the big story returns.
You're still watching the big story here on One News.
The full implementation of the exclusive motorcycle lanes was supposed to take place this week following a 2-week dry run.
But the MMDA decided to postpone it for another week. Let's get the details from King Senko, who is reporting to us live from Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City. King, what are the reasons for the postponement?
Sen, Robbie, as per MMDA Chief Don Artes, he said that there's still patchworks that needs to be done by the DPWH. Also, at the during the 10 days dry run that was implemented from March 9 to March 19, there are 14,000 combined apprehensions, or let's say violators that was seen by the MMDA. And now, it was moved for another 7 days until the full implementation. That would be next Monday.
In the meantime, King, I mean, this was a dry run. What lessons, what insights has the MMDA gotten from the period of this experiment?
Right, Robbie. For now, MMDA has learned that a lot of motorists it's helping traffic in a way that the four-wheeled vehicles are getting a flow during the crucial time between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or until 7 p.m., right? But the motorcycles inside the motorcycle lane are kind of not happy with the result of the exclusive motorcycle lane, because they said that it defeats the purpose of having a motorcycle that should be able to filter through traffic.
But one of the reasons, though, is for this motorcycle lane is to lessen the number of accidents on the road. Have we seen any information in that area?
With that, we would still have to get the data from MMDA on how many motorcycle-related accidents has been recorded during the 10-day dry run. But for now, during our stay here, we have not seen any accidents on the road.
Kamusta naman ang traffic?
Right now, Gretchen, in the past 20 minutes, traffic has been easing up. Right now, as we speak, traffic is free-flowing on both directions of the Commonwealth Avenue.
I think we'll be seeing more next week as the exclusive motorcycle lane initiative continues. Maraming salamat, King Senko, reporting to us live from Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City.
And here's some good news for aspiring drivers. Starting April 15, the LTO will be implementing a memo imposing a cap on driving school fees. Fees for the theoretical driving course should not exceed 1,000 pesos, while maximum fees for the practical driving course will be set at 2,500 pesos for motorcycles, 4,000 pesos for light vehicles. This means total driving school fees should reach only a maximum of around 3,500 for motorcycles, around 5,000 pesos for light vehicles. The LTO says fees increased during the pandemic as driving schools had to compensate for the limited number of students during lockdowns. But now that pandemic restrictions have eased and on top of the summer vacation, driving schools should expect more student drivers to enroll. Some groups representing driving schools, however, are opposing the move, and that they said they will seek to appeal. The LTO says it's open to hear their side.
We welcome all comments, suggestions, and appeals. Kung sa tingin po nung driving school ay ito pong fees na to is unreasonable on their part, we are more than willing to sit down with them and rediscuss kung ano po yung cost structure to come up with this maximum fee.
And before we go, the Holy Islam month of Ramadan is set to begin tomorrow, Thursday. This is upon the announcement of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM. They note that the moon was not sighted on Tuesday night, signifying the beginning of fasting by tomorrow. The Ramadan marks the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, which is a time to reflect through praying, fasting, and studying the Quran. The Ramadan ends with the Eid al-Fitr holiday set on April 20 or 21.
And that's a big story tonight. For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. You may also log on to onenews.ph for more analysis. Ako po si Robbie Alampay.
The big story is also available via Signal Play app. Make a free account now at signalplay.com and stream One News anytime, anywhere. Ako po si Gretchen Ho. Stay safe, Philippines.
And we are One News, all sides, all the time.